Hey guys, George Diamondyard Sportscards coming at you with another video. Pretty excited here, really excited. We have less than 2 weeks before the National. Today is Friday. We have next Friday, and then the Friday after that, we will be engrossed in Cleveland in the National. All the cards, all the great autograph signers, all the great friends, more importantly. That's the most important thing. But anyway, guys, if you happen to see me, please come up and say hello. I'd love to talk to you about cards, love to talk to you about sports or whatever. Really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to the friends and the great camaraderie of the National. And obviously looking for some different stuff. I know we all are making my list, and I could give you some tips, but I guess the simple tips are understand how large it is, understand that you need to have a focus of some type. You could mill around there for 5 days and you still would not have enough time. At least that's been my experience. But anyway, and suck up the time with the friends, enjoy the time that you have with people, because again, that's what it's all about. So I have a PSA autograph submission that I got back, and I have a couple PSA cards I've picked up, two of Stan the Man Musial. Now I will have cards at the National. I will not have a table, but I will be selling cards. I will have some with me. If you're interested in some vintage cards, you can just ask me if you happen to see me. The house I'll be staying at, I'll be selling some cards there, hopefully. Some of these cards will be going with me. There are a few that are PC, and I'll talk to you about that. But the autograph grades, it was a dual service. It was the December special, so it's been like 6 months. They did do a good job. They graded the cards fairly, I felt. The autos were fair. It was dual service. And one thing I want to tell you about getting your cards done dual service, whether you get the card authentic or not, but you can't just get it trading card and then the auto graded to have it in their registry. So to have a card on the registry, it has to be dual service. Now, dual service doesn't mean you have to get a number grade on the card. You can just ask the card be authentic. I like to get the autographs graded if they're nice, if they're going to get like an 8 or higher. I typically like to get them graded. Obviously, everybody's searching for a 10 auto, and they are a little bit more liberal. They're more liberal with their auto grades sometimes, and there's certain things you look for. Like, for example, if the auto goes off the card, it will not be a 10. It just will not. If there's a break in the writing, it will not be a 10. The weird thing is that if it's a really bad auto of the ball player, but the actual technical flow of the Sharpie is fine and it's not off the card, then they'll give it a 10. Even though you might look at this Tom Seaver autograph or Steve Carlton autograph, and you might say that's a really poor example of that autograph, and yet it has a 10 on it, which is really weird. So they're not really grading the autograph itself for aesthetics. They're just grading the autograph technically for, is it solid? Does it flow? Are there any breaks in it, or does it flow cleanly? Anyway, enough of that. Let's look at some cards, guys. Here we go. And happy Friday to everybody. It's going to be a great weekend. Okay, guys, looking at some cards here. I got my Snoopy, 70 Peanuts, Dolly Madison, Snoopy in the background there. Two cards I picked up, one through a friend of mine through Facebook, both of Stan the Man Musial. And this one will be going with me to, this is a nice auto 10. It's a ballpoint auto of Stan. I don't really care if it's ballpoint or Sharpie. Obviously, Sharpie they're both really good on cards. And this card was, it's moderately well centered. It's pretty good looking card. I mean, obviously it's off left to right, but most 59 Stans are. But my friend got a hold of me and said, "Hey, this one's up for sale on Facebook." And I said, "What? How much?" And we went and worked a deal. Just a beautiful 59 Stan, and it's his first non-All-Star Topps card. And really, really like this card, and the auto is really clean. So you can never go wrong. One of the top 10 position players of all time, Stan the Man Musial. And then on another note, at the front row show, I picked this one up. It was already slabbed. It was a red man with tab Stan Musial, but it was already slabbed. But I thought this auto had a chance at a 10. It was a PSA 3. It was an old flip, and I got it graded, and the auto got a 10. And I just thought it's a beautiful copy. This one is staying in the PC. Just a really nice red man Stan Musial. There are not a whole lot of red man autographed Musials. There's tons of Musial stuff autographed, of course, but these days it matters what is the autograph on. There's bazillion baseballs with Stan Musial's autograph, but there are not many red mans. There's not many 59 tops. And that's what I tell people. At the end of the day, it's what the autograph is on. Some autos are harder than others. And, you know, we have this big craze of cards, autographed baseball cards, and I just love them to death. And this is just a beautiful, beautiful Musial. I will put it in the background there. Red Man. Again, I think the pop is about 3 or 4. So some bad news for the submission. These are the cards that were submitted. There's one in here my buddy submitted. These are all vintage cards, dual service. This was the bad news, and if you guys have watched my channel, you know that this was probably coming. This was a Willie Mays, and rest in peace, Willie Mays. But this was an auto. One of the guys, or couple of guys, basically stated they thought this was his wife's auto. It's very cool. The Mays itself doesn't look bad to me. The Willie looks a little bit more suspect, but you know, I might actually try to give this to Beckett, but you know, PSA said that they could not hold it, questionable authenticity. I will tell you, I have had stuff from PSA get questionable authenticity, and then Beckett or Spence will grade it, and vice versa. You know, nobody's perfect. I mean, we can't. These are all opinions anyway. This is PSA's opinion that it's questionable authenticity. If I send it back to them, they might have a different opinion on that day. So unless you actually saw it autographed, you know, it is an opinion. But at the end of the day, this right now got a questionable authenticity. So that's a bummer, especially considering that we have one of the top players of all time. It's not slabbed. And again, 58 All-Star, one of the best sets, just the first All-Star set's wonderful. Cards that did get slabbed. This was, and these ones are going to be with, you know, these are for sale. This is a really nice Carl Hubble. This was in a Beckett slab. I snapped it. VG4, 60 Fleer, 61 Fleer. I love the 60 and 61 Fleers, but this is a really nice auto of Hubble. It's 10. A little older, you know, he's probably in late 70s, early 1980s when he signed this right before he died. But just a really, really cool card of the meal ticket. So there was that Hubble auto in a 10. This was a really cool one. I bought this online for a song and just love 1960 tops. This was a Brooks Robinson. And, you know, the card itself got a 2. It's kind of a rough 2. You know, some 2s you look at, you're like, man, that's a nice 2. This isn't bad, though. The eye appeal of the card isn't bad. It's just the corners. But the autograph is really, really clean and really nice of Brooksie. So real happy with that one. This is a rookie Burt Behome Bly 11 and VG3 rookie auto 10. Real solid black auto, which actually works really well with the black background on the 71s. But this one's for sale as well. So these 3 were for sale, and these other ones coming up are going in the PC. And these other ones, for different reasons, are going into the PC. The first one is an important card to me. My father-in-law's favorite player growing up, Del Ennis. For you Phillies fans out there, shout out to Mike O and Ray from Philly. Auto 8, it's a ballpoint pen auto of Del Ennis. Now he's on the Cardinals here. Meal ticket guy, 25 home runs a year, 90, 100 RBIs for like 10 years for the Phillies through the 40s. Del Ennis. Now these next ones are really sharp looking cards. There's 3 of them, and these are definitely PCs. This is the great Monte Irvin. You've seen this card on my channel before. This card, 52 tops, black back. Just a sweet auto. Card looks great. And yeah, it's a 3, but still, it's a nice looking 53 tops. There's more of the color. For some reason, the sun's coming in. It's kind of washing them out a little bit. But just a really nice Irvin auto. They gave it a 10. I was real happy about that. This was an authentic. I bought it raw, got it slabbed authentic, and then I decided, well, let's just see what they say on the auto, because it is a 52. So we'll put that one right there. And the next one is the great Larry Doby. Had this one, old slab, and it was an auto. It was not, auto wasn't graded, but I always looked at this auto and said, man, that looks like just a 10 to me all day. And so loving this set, 54 Bowman, and the way Bowman just in general with their photography looks up at the ball players, and you can see the stadium in the background. Just a gorgeous card. So this really nice Doby, I was really happy that it got a 10 auto. I figured the card would get like between a 2 and a 4. You know, you kind of never know these days. It's a crapshoot, frankly. And the best card among this submission was a card I had in a slab. And I'm going to add this with my 60 Mays. And you guys have seen this card before. It's a 60 Hank Aaron, and it got an auto 9. There is a little bit of break in the auto where the H is, or a blur. And I expected a 9 auto, but it got a 2. The card, the card really presents well for a PSA too. But just a really nice Aaron auto. Love the 1960. If you watch my channel, 1960 set, this is one of my favorites. And this is probably my favorite Aaron card. Just delighted to have this card in slab like this. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you tuning in. Looking forward to seeing everybody at the National. Have a great weekend. Make sure you come up and say hello. Maybe we'll have a beer. Who knows? Take care and keep collecting.